Well, hello, my wonderful brosters of the Maverick Nation, brosters and broskas of the Maverick Nation, and my Wi-Fi is being a dick to me again. No, I would love to do that. I would love to just turn on and off at random times. So I might just be able to do an idea I was thinking about. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? A little bit of a Bakudeku thing. If anyone knows what Bakudeku is, and if anyone approves or doesn't approve, I may just really think, you know, it would be a cool thing to do, considering. I don't know, but it's probably you guys are probably gonna get the whole Bakudeku what if before you guys get another episode of any of the series. Maybe like one or two, or possibly three if I'm thinking about it, because I might possibly make the Bakudeku series I want to make the new Naruto and Bleach fused together. And what I mean by that is, I want that to have a lot. I want to focus on that one a lot. Because, I've never done something like that. I've never, ever done something like that. It's very risque, and I don't know if YouTube's gonna like me after I do something like that. I don't know if the algorithm is going to like me at all after I do something like that. But I will. And trust me. I mean, depending on how many views the first part of the Bakudeku What If gets, depending on how many views, will show just how much love you guys have for the series. Like if I look back and see how many views, and I'm just saying, after I get done with the stuff I have to get done with, the whole Bakudeku series will be uploaded after that, and I will get to see how you guys react to my insanity, which will be my Bakudeku What If. Because I'm going to make it. I'm not. I don't just want to make it. I'm going to make it. You can't stop me because you don't know where the frick I live. You don't know where I live, so you can't stop me. So yeah, but now is not the time for the Bakudeku What If. Now is the time for the third part of What If Izuku Midoriya was Team RWBY. And the second part, Izuku almost murdered freaking Aizawa with RWBY's powers going all out. But still not in the semblance, because remember, the only semblance he's going to have is the one of my favorite out of the team, which would be not RWBY. She's my second favorite. My favorite is actually her older sister, Yang. Zhao Long. Can still do it. Anyways, yeah. Basically, Burns he has Yang's semblance, but it's kind of like if you fuse Yang's semblance with freaking like One for All. It's basically if you fuse those two things together. That's basically Deku's version of freaking Burn. And you can do percentages of how much. I sort of explained it in the second part. So if you want a very long, very in-depth explanation, or at least me trying to explain it, uh, go to part two. But so yeah, I, I was kind of rambling on for a very long time. And I don't like to keep people waiting, so let's get to part 3, where, seeing how that was after the quirk assessment test, we're now going to get to the heroes versus villains. And it's going to be the same as in canon. Actually, no, I just came up with an idea. I mean, Bakugo and Izuku are still going to be involved in this. It's going to be Bakugo versus Izuku. Bakugo's going to be villain team, Izuku's going to be hero team, just like in canon. But their partners are going to be different. Now, Bakugo's partner in this will not be Ida, it will be Todoroki. And Izuku's partner in this will not be Ochako, it will be freaking... What's a ship that I could do? Just for how adorable it would be, freaking his partner will be Asui. I know people call her Sue, but I'm calling her other name, Asui. That's just, it's a lot more fun to say, actually. That's one of the many reasons why I like calling her Asui instead of Sue. It's a lot more fun to say, and plus the other reason, which is the reason why I call most characters the names that I do. It's like the first name that I openly hear, and if that name is a name that I like, I will call that character, like, majority of the time, I will call that character that name. And really the first, feet dipping into the pool of the water I kind of got with, Sue or Asui, or whatever you want to call her character, was, Asui. So, I keep on calling her Asui. And I'm gonna have, some of the characters, maybe not all of the characters, but some of the characters call her Asui. And, I may or may not decide for her to like or not like, depending on who's calling her Asui. Like how Izuku doesn't like it whenever Bakugo calls him Deku, but whenever Ochaka called him Deku, it was fine, because she mentioned the whole thing about Dekyu, you can do anything, or whatever. Now it's on a similar, just whatever. Okay, it's gonna be Izuku and Asui versus Bakugo and Todoroki. Now, I know how you guys could see this going bad for the hero team, considering, Asui and, freaking Cold does not mix, and at this point in the anime, Todoroki is only using his ice side, never using his fire side. At this point. And, Izuku, I mean, come on, both of them have, extremely good quirks. Like, both Bakugo and Todoroki. And, Izuku would be like, damn it, that Todoroki guy, half of his quirk affects Asui in such a negative way that she's starting to fall asleep. Asui, I'll protect you. And it's just like, all the girls are just like, how do you exactly do you expect to do that? And Izuku's just like, well, whenever it rains, it pours. Wait, did I already do this already? Should I think I did? Well, even if I already did this already, I'm just gonna say heroes win, villains lose. Just to be safe, I'm gonna say heroes win, villains lose, just in case I already did this. But, I am going to have, this heartfelt scene where Izuku decides that he will give, maybe, a half of 1% of his semblance over to Asui. Because he knows the semblance is literally called burn. And, Asui would kind of start feeling a little better. She would at least be able to be awake. With, this little glow around her. And she would feel a little bit warm. And she'd be like, did I pee myself? And Izuku would be like, no, that's just, the semblance. Okay, now I can't use the semblance, or else the heat will go away from Asui. Damn it. And basically, just like, okay, here we go. And basically, I'm just adding that part in just because. Just because I think I already did the whole heroes versus villains part. Because I remember the whole thing about Weiss having her super move. And now, like, the next part will be USJ. So now I'm kicking myself. But Weiss does still get her super move. And it's the same as the one that she got before. It's the same one. Basically, everything's going the same, except for, like, the difference as in, like a change in, like, characters. Basically, Asui and Izuku win, and Todoroki and Bakugo lose. And Bakugo was basically blaming Todoroki for them losing, and Todoroki is like, "You want to say that again?" And basically, Endeavor would be there watching, like, in silence, and he'd be like, "Yes, Tiatsuki Bakugo, make him even more angry. The possibility of him using his fire side. Just freaking, just be like, crazy shit." But, like, Todoroki would, like, swear to never use his freaking fire side, so even though he is pretty pissed, he would just slap him with, like, a freaking ice arm. And then the whole USJ thing would be announced, and then they would, like, go on the whole field trip thing, like, to the USJ, and then it would be like, wait, they have fake, like, the person, like, I think it was, like, Kirishima. I now know that it's a guy and that he has the quirk hardening. Like, he'd basically be like, they have fake villains? And Aizawa would just get up in there like a badass and he'd just be like, no, these are real villains. And then the Nomu would appear out of nowhere, and, like, the girls all simultaneously be like, that's a creature we remember. And Izuku's like, that's impossible. We come from, like, two different like, freaking dimensions or something, I think. One of you told me that once. So how can you remember this? And, like freaking Yang she would just saying, she would have the whole, like, thing, and she would just be like, trust me, Izuku. This thing is not to be meddled with. And Izuku's like, yeah, I know that. Anyways, Blake, about that whole super move thing. Hmm? Yeah. Well, and he would just jump up in the, like, he would just kick the Nomu, like, up into the sky. Like, he would just, like, switch one of the gauntlets to be on his leg, and he would, like, kick it up in the sky, and it would, boom, and it would just shoot the Nomu up in the air. And then he would put the gauntlet back on his hand, and he would just be like, okay, that's a start now. And then he would just, like, have the ropes from Blake's rope guns, and he would just tie it around freaking Nomu, like freaking reverse Lotus time in this biatch. And he would just be like, now, it's time. And basically, he would throw Blake's guns on the ground, but there would be, like, some sort of automatic trigger thing on them. And, like Izuku would have a device. And, like, basically, like, both of the, like, one of the guns is on one side, and the other gun is on the other side of basically the room, and basically he would reverse Lotus the freaking Nomu into the ground, and while he's doing this, just, like, the guns are, like, he just presses a button, and the guns start firing off, and, like, every time they fire off, they hit the Nomu. Basically, whenever it hits the ground, both the guns, like, charge up something, and whenever they release it, it's like a giant blast, and, like, boom, and it creates a giant, it looks like a freaking nuclear explosion, but, like, a tiny one. And, like, whenever Izuku, like, gets out of that, he's just like, And he like gets out the ropes and like he just snatches back to the guns back to him, and he's just like, rope guns, extreme bullet hell. Looks like introducing you to that was pretty cool, wasn't it? And Shigaraki would be like, cheater, 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 dirty little cheater. And basically, as soon as All Might would come in, he'd just be like, I am here. Wait, what? And like the Nomu would be like torn to shreds to the point where it couldn't freaking regenerate. It's like the entire regeneration factor was destroyed too when that giant blast happened. Like they connected. It was like boom! Giant blast. And All Might's just like, the hell happened here? And Shigaraki's just like, what are you idiots doing? Go after them! And the villains are just like, but All Might, and Shigaraki's like, I don't care! Go after them! And basically all the villains are just like, and this is after like the Nomu has thrashed Aizawa around a bit, so technically this happened after that happened, because Izuku got pissed. So Aizawa really isn't able to like nullify any of their quirks, because he's medical attention, severe medical attention, and it's just like like All Might is like he's just punching through all of these guys like it's nothing. And then right as he's about to like run up to freaking Shigaraki is like, shit. How could we have lost? Kurogiri's just like, well, seeing as you admit that we have lost, I guess it's finally time. And right as freaking All Might's about to get to them, it's like, shoo! Like freaking mist portal. And then they're gone. And like, All Might just punches the wall. He's just like, what? What? How? What? They were, but. And Izuku's just like, seems that one guy is the way of like getting out of there. Over all these other guys. And he's just like, gauntlet time. He's just like, I think it's time that we get a little serious. And basically, it's just like 1% as usual. And just with 1%, he's able to kick. He would just basically be like, okay, resonance. Like he would basically be like what's it called? I forget. Like I know it's burn. He'd be like, burn 1%. Because even whenever he goes to 2%, his skin actually starts to like singe itself. So he's just basically like 1.5%. And Yang would be like, 1.5. You clever little. And he would just. It would basically be like 1.5% is like 2%, but without like the burning, and it's only a little bit less powerful. It's only like a tiny bit, like 1.5. Like if you have a pie and you take out half of it, it's basically like that, like only taking out like half of 2% strength. Well, not even really that, because it's still like the more that he gets hit, the stronger he becomes. Because basically, like burns kind of an absorption thing. Like you absorb it and you throw it back at him. He would basically be like, okay, well now that these guys are done, and basically all the girls are like cheering him on. They'd be like, yeah, you did it. And All Might would be like, such amazing strength. Izuku Midoriya, is that your name? And Izuku would be like, yep. And basically be like, we need to talk later. And he just like hands him a piece of paper and he's like, the time and the place. and what exactly they would be talking about. And he's just like, so he wants to know about my power. What do you think, girls? Can we trust him? I mean, even if he is the #1 pro hero, the symbol of peace and justice, I'm still. Well, what happened with Aizawa after that? I don't know anymore. And the girls would just reassure him, like, everything's gonna be alright. And he'd basically be like, all of the girls would be like, it's fine, Izuku, it's fine. They'd just be like, it's okay, it's okay. And he'd just be like, fine. And then, like, it would be the day that they would talk, and everything would be like, so Izuku, I see you came here. And Izuku would be like, yep, I see you are here. This is pretty early for us to be doing anything. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. And All Might would be like, yes, well, it seems that we have something that we are going to need to talk about in private, and no one really comes here anymore, seeing as how much trash. And he would just be like, yeah, I agree, All Might. There's so much Wait, what? Are you gonna try to train me by cleaning the beach? And All Might's like, how did you? And he would be like, well, whenever you have 4 different people in your head plus you kind of get some smarts and ability to tell what something's going on, what exactly it is. And All Might would be like, Aizawa told me something about that. About you. So it is true. Listen, Izuku, before you actually start any of that. And Izuku's like, what? All Might. And Izuku's like, yeah, well, do you know anyone by the name of All for One? And then all of the girls, like, inside of Izuku's head, like, everyone, like, all of Team RWBY, just start to get chills. And they're like, that guy. That was the guy who. That Nomu. And basically Izuku's like, girls? Like, he's talking in his head. He's talking in his head so that All Might can't hear him. Like, he's, like, talking to them in his head. And he's just like, girls, what's wrong? And the girls are all just like, RWBY just steps up and is just like, that guy, All for One, he's the one responsible for the Nomu, that one that we fought, and that we couldn't beat. And Izuku's like, what? The hell? That shadow darkness Nomu that you were talking about. That All for One guy's responsible for it? And Weiss is like, we also, well, me and Blake were talking, and we also believe that it might also be cause for a certain injury that All Might has that could cause some problems. And Izuku's just like, well, if this All for One guy's that bad, then why has no one stopped him? And basically, they say the entire thing, like the entire experience, even with All Might coming in and like going against the Darkness Nomu and All for One at the same time. And they basically say everything. They tell Izuku everything. No details are left unfreaking told. And basically, like, Izuku is just like, so it was that bad. It was that bad. This All for One guy, the #1 villain. Well, I guess. And now he's starting to talk to All Might again. I do know about him, but if you're asking if I'm affiliated with about him in any way, if you're planning to ask that, then, well, what exactly do you mean by affiliation? And All Might's just like, what? How? And he's just like, did they tell you? And Izuku's just like, everything. And Izuku's just, he's like, also like, so, yeah, I also know what your skinny form looks like. And everything. So, yeah, I know there's an action needed for. Damn it, I already know the Wi-Fi's down, so stop rubbing it in my face, freaking computer. And he's basically just like, anything that you have to tell me, I already know, All Might. So just let me clean the damn beach already. And Izuku is like really freaking depressed. He's like, it was all an incident. All of the good we did together. All of us, all 5 of us, was all an accident. And he doesn't even know he's saying this out loud. And he's just like, at this point, he's like angry. He's pissed. It was all an accident. And like, at this point, All Might is trying to talk to him, but Izuku really doesn't want to talk right now. And he shows this by literally just freaking, like, waving his hand in the direction of a freaking mountain, and all of a sudden that mountain is just destroyed. And All Might is like, what the? And Izuku is just like, damn it, damn it, damn it. Screw this! And then he just freaking just runs away. And he runs all the way over to his house. And then into his house, and into his room. But Inko realized that whenever he was running in, he was crying. And, he slammed the door shut and locked it. And he was just like, and then she realized there was like a paper sign sort of thing. And it read, no trespassing, or else. But it was like sort of like scratchy, like writing. And, Inko's just like, Izuku, can I please come in? And Izuku's just like, read the damn sign. That's going to be your answer. Unless you've read it already and are just being stubborn. I don't want to talk. I never want to talk with anyone ever again. And Inko is just like, well, maybe whenever you're feeling better, I'll have leftovers for you. It's your favorite. And then she just walks down the stairs. Basically, the girls are all like, RWBY's just like, Izuku? And he's just like, you know what I wrote. So, I suggest neither you nor any of the other 3 do it either. And RWBY's just like, wait, that was for us too? And, Blake and Weiss kind of get the feeling that they shouldn't be talking to Izuku anytime soon. Like, they should probably, like, not try to even, like, say anything to him anytime soon. And Yang is just like, Yang has her face away from everyone else. And RWBY is just finally like, Yang, is there something wrong? And Yang is just like, I, uh, it's, RWBY, you remember whenever you took that risky move to try to damage that darkness no move? by throwing Crescent Rose at it, launching it with my gauntlets. And Rose is like, I tried to use your gauntlets to increase the power of the striking of Crescent Rose. Yeah, I remember that, but why are you... And Yang is just like, I remember it all. It's my fault. It's all my fault. The villains of our dimension were planning on getting someone into here that wasn't from our dimension, but was known as the most powerful villain in theirs. And so they wanted to use him so that they could defeat us. It's all because I rushed in hastily. I rushed in to try to stop them without thinking, without using my damn brain. It's all because I didn't think that... It's all because of me. It's all my fault. Basically, Ruby remembers whenever Yang tripped and fell on the button that basically opened the portal for All For One and the Darkness Nomu to basically enter. Basically, she tripped on something whenever she was like running, and she fell on the button that released them. Because the bad guys were still kind of on the fence about this, like, what if he tries to betray us? Yang basically, yeah, it kind of was her fault that, they got screwed over. Because, All For One kind of used, like, the villain of their dimension's tech to increase the power of the Nomu, making it the Darkness Nomu. Because originally it was a regular Nomu. He just, used their tech to, like, recreate it into, like, a Darkness Nomu, like, more powerful than any other freaking Nomu. And basically, so Yang has just been blaming herself ever since. And so Yang has basically, in secret, been blaming herself this entire time for why they're in this predicament. And now, Izuku, the one they're stuck in, is kind of just in this, he's not exactly too happy. Wait, All Might isn't supposed to be here, so who exactly is supposed to talk to him? I guess freaking Aizawa could talk to him, because I completely forgot that All Might was stuck in the RWBY dimension. I completely forgot that, so I guess Aizawa would talk to him? Yeah, well, school is over, so I guess he can do whatever the frick he wants, as long as it's not illegal. So I guess Aizawa would follow him? Yeah, I'm just glad I saved my ass by fixing that plot hole. Like, retconning the hell out of it. And basically, Izuku's just like, and now, All Might, and every... And he would just be in the fetal position, like Izuku would be all zonked out, in the freaking fetal position in his bed. And nothing would be good for this. This would just be the worst possible position that anyone could be in. Like, Izuku feels terrible, and, Aizawa feels terrible that he can't really help him. And Inko has no idea what's going on, but the whole entirety of Team RWBY are just, like, basically Yang has finally let everything out. RWBY was the only other person who saw what happened to release, like, All For One and the Darkness Nomu into their dimension. RWBY was the only other person who saw that. So, Weiss and Blake have been completely blind to the person who it was the actual fault of. For so long, they have had no idea. And now, Yang is just like, I don't care what you think of me afterwards, but it's all my fault. And she would just, like, say everything. And basically, Yang would explain everything. And so, yeah. I'm gonna leave that off right there, because I really want to, get something to eat, because I am hungry, like extremely freaking hungry. And, do the Bakudeku what if. Only instead of calling it Bakudeku, like I might make a reference in the title, but also in the title I would probably have, Baku Izuku. Because, actually no. I think this would be the one where I would have it as Deku, and just as Deku, because, that's what Kachan Bakugo kinda calls him, and Izuku calls him Kachan back, so they kinda have their own names, like, nicknames that they call each other. And besides, in this, I would have it where Bakugo knew about the Dekuyu thing, and, like, it, meaning you can do anything. And about the fact that Uraraka basically told Deku about it. So I guess this, like the first one to basically have it as Deku instead of Izuku, would be the, like, Bakudeku what if that I'm gonna be doing whenever I feel like it. Like, I do these, like, I try to have, like, a schedule with this, but, the Bakudeku, it's gonna be, like, sometimes it's gonna have a schedule, sometimes it's going to be whenever I feel like it, If I miss a certain amount of days, like, there was, like, that one period where I just wasn't uploading, I just felt kind of like how Jacksepticeye said in that one video, he just needed to take a break. I wasn't really taking a break, I was taking more of a rest, because of, it's just, I'm not, I guess you could say with me being so new to the platform, like, when did I actually start doing YouTube? I'm gonna have to take a look at that whenever I start the Bakudeku, if, the, internet's, I don't know, the internet is actually on. Thank the Lord. 29 subscribers. I'm waiting for that 30. If we can get to 30 subscribers, if we can get to 30, actually, 30 I'll do a special, 50 I'll do a special, and 80 I'll do a special, and 100 I'll do a special. 30 because I think it would be a number that would be deserving of a special, and 50 because, it's the big 5-0 and everything. Yeah, it's like a half of 100, and 80 because I like the number 8. Yeah, it's my favorite number, so 80, that's why. And 100 because, 100 is the special number. Let's go to About. Joined January 30th, 2018. And it's 2020 right now, so I've been on the platform for 2 years. Sorry, I was kind of bent down there for a second. It said January 30th, 2018. And seeing as it's actually, it's close to being the New Year, so almost, I will have been on the platform for almost 3 years soon. As soon as it hits January 1st, as soon as it hits the 1st of January, which is coming up very soon, I will have been on the platform for 3 years. Holy shit. And there are 2 other YouTube channels which I used to make videos on, but both reasons for why I quit those channels is because, well, I had no choice but to quit them. Because, I kinda lost the information to, get onto them. Now for this one, just to make sure, I'm safe, I never really log off. I don't log off, so I never really have to log back on. So yeah, that's how I've kept myself safe for so long, so I didn't have to, make another YouTube channel. I already, had 2 that I've abandoned, mostly, pretty much. Unless I want to see how they've been doing with me basically not, doing anything on them. And so, yeah. Basically, my 2 YouTube channels are Michael McKnight, and, well, that's the first one, and the second one is Dark Shadow Maverick. And this one is the D.S.M Nation. D.S.M meaning Dark Shadow Maverick. I still have the persona down, but, the D.S.M Nation, I just thought it would be something more appropriate or cool or both. So, yeah. Come the 1st of, I believe, January, come the 1st of January, not the 1st, the 1st of January, yeah, I will have officially been on this platform for 3 years if you're just counting this channel. But if you're counting the 2 other channels, I have no idea how the hell. I think 2012, or I'm pretty sure 2012. Uh, I'm pretty sure 2012 was the earliest I've been on YouTube, actually making videos. It was a 10 or 12. And just to make a safe guesstimate, I'd say 12. And, 12 to 20, that's gonna be plus 10. 10 to 20 would be 10, but 12 to 20, that's 2 more, so that would be 8 years. I think the earliest I've actually been making YouTube videos is 2012. So if you're just counting both my previous channels and this channel, that's a total of 8 years. But if you're just counting this channel, that's a total of 3 years once we hit the New Year's resolution. Actually, it'd be 9 years once we hit the New Year's. Once we hit the new year, it would be officially actually 9 years because 2021. So if you were talking about all of my channels, it would be freaking 9 years because, 2021, then 2021, the new year. But if you were to count just this one, previously, before the years, it would be 2 years, but, in regarding the new year, it would be 3 years. But for the other one, if you were to, recount them all, it would be 9 years because of the new year. That I am, I'm putting in the new year as well, so instead of 8, it would be 9 because the new year that's about to happen. If you were to count all of my channels. But if you were to just count how long I've been on YouTube for this channel, which is going to be my main channel that I go on, and the other 2 I'll just, check up on every once in a while. I've subscribed to both of them, I believe. So yeah, basically, 9 years because I am including the new year. 9 years for it if you're including my other 2 channels and that for how long I've been on the platform, and only 3 because 2008, the frick, damn it. 2018 to 2021. No, wait. 2018, 19, 20. 3 years, actually, yeah. 3 years if you're just counting my newest and primary channel. If you're just counting this channel, that's 3 years. If you're counting, my all of my channels, like the 2 previous channels, that would be like a total, like the 2 previous channels and this channel in total, that would be a total of 9 years that I've been on the platform. So that's just a little bit of info for those of you that aren't aware of how long I've been on this damn thing, how much I freaking love it. YouTube has really helped me express myself. And for those of you that, like me, can and have chosen to express themselves through YouTube, good luck to you guys. Because I'm doing it too. And it's really therapeutic as well. It's really therapeutic as well. YouTube has helped me through some very dark times, some very depressing times. Like, the platform itself, even though, it's kind of crazy, like really crazy, I'm crazy. So I guess me and the platform can relate to each other. Even though it sickens me to say that, me and the platform can relate. Seeing as it's crazy and I'm crazy, I guess we can relate. So 9 years if you're looking for total on YouTube, but 3 if you're just looking for on this channel. Which the reason why I'm saying 9 and 3 is because I'm adding in the new year. It would be 8 and 2 if I wasn't, but I am adding in the new year since it's really close to coming. So 9 and 3, like 9, like if you're looking at like my entire YouTube experience, but 3 if you're just looking at my YouTube experience as of now of being a YouTuber of this third channel. This third channel that I really do not intend to have to make fourth. Because if I end up having to enter one of those situations, holy shit, I might as well blow up the freaking planet. Ah, damn it, that's him talking again. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, good. Anyways, this video has been long enough. The Dark Shadow Maverick is OUT out. Like Alan Xenodallas' The Dark Shadow Maverick is OUT out of here.